What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Top 10 Covers Challenge put on by Alan, Comic Collector Geek. Go give him a subscribe, go give him a follow. This is his challenge that he puts on every week. Every Friday he puts out his video. Every Saturday I'm going to put out my video. And if you guys would like to join in, just hit him up. He will let you know each week what the cover challenge will be, so you can get your comics ready. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. All right, first up, guys, we got Aliens Life and Death, issue number 2, with the beautiful skull cover of the alien. That's right, guys. Not just going human skulls here, we're going alien skulls. We're going xenomorph skulls. I had to bring this one due to the fact that Alien Earth has been fantastic. If you guys are not watching it, go check it out. It's a great new show for aliens, new lore for aliens a little bit. That's all I'll say for that, because right now we're in here to look at this cover, to look at this skull cover right here for Aliens Life and Death. This is my number 1 pick for my comic cover challenge. Alright, next, for my number 2 pick, I just recently got this, and it was added to my box from my shop, Retro Rocket Comics, so thank you to them. I just got this in just in time for this comic cover challenge. As you can see, we got Swamp Thing in the middle of the eye hole, the deepened eye hole of, what's that in the background? A skull. That's right, guys, a skull. It's taking up the whole cover, so right there. Definitely a skull. This is Swamp Thing, issue number 56. Beautiful cover. Beautiful design. I love the detail on the skull and how it is. It's just beautiful. And that is my number 2 pick. I had to bring some Doom Patrol into the list here, guys. As you can see, we got a skull right there. It's hard to see, but it's a skull nonetheless, guys, so it counts. Doom Patrol, issue number 4, written by Gerard Way. This is from the Young Animal line, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm not usually into black and white covers, but this is, it's not quite black and white, and I just love the design of each thing in here. Like, you could just look at this cover for days and just try to pick up every little thing. It's a busy cover, definitely a busy cover, but it's also a skull cover right there. But I absolutely love this cover and love this Doom Patrol run from Gerard Way. Of course, it doesn't beat Grant Morrison's run, Grant Morrison being probably one of my favorite writers, but Gerard Way definitely steps up and creates his own kind of story for Doom Patrol. Alright, for my 4th pick, this is coming from a novel. This was actually a novel. I forget the novel names, but it ended up coming into a comic book form. This is a very interesting story from Titan Comics. I absolutely fell in love with the Extraordinary. Issue number 2. It's about a girl who can see people's deaths and that before they happen. That's kind of a power she has. She's like extraordinary, and she tries to look into her own death, where she ends up seeing the person who is about to kill her. So a very interesting story. If you've not read this, definitely go give it a try. But as you can see, there's a skull right there, indicating that that's death coming for her. But yeah, that's my number 4 pick. I seem to be kind of picking a lot of covers or issues that are number 2s, because this is another number 2, just like my previous pick, just like picks before this one. This is Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal, number 2. This is actually homaging a very, very old movie. I think it was from 1956, The Seventh Seal. Like, it's not homaging it completely, it's just an homaging a scene that was in that movie. And I'll put the image right here right now. And that, sorry for how bad of an image that is. It's the only image I could find, and it's, of course, not homaging the exact cover of this issue. But it is a scene that was in that movie. So it's homaging this kind of playfully. So Marjorie Finnegan Temple Criminal, also a great series from AWA Upshot by Garth Ennis. Fun time following Marjorie as she jumps through time, as she's running away from her sister with with something. I don't want to give it away because I want you guys to open up the book and be like, okay, so this is her sidekick in this book. This is so cool. It was a fantastic read. Definitely recommend this book. It was one of my favorite reads of 2021. So go back and read this if you've not read it. But there you got Death playing with the Rubik's Cube because he can't figure it out. Like, nobody can figure it out. People can. But there he is with the skull right there, guys. If you guys can't see it, it's right there. But yeah, fun read. And yeah, that is my number 5 pick. All right, getting into the Amalgam universe here with Speed Demon, who's a little bit of Ghost Rider, a little bit of the Flash, and there's one other character, I think it's the Demon, that they cross over. So it's 3 characters in one in this character. That's why they have Demon here, Speed Demon. So it's Ghost Rider, the Flash, and the Demon all combined to make Speed Demon. Beautiful cover. Probably one of my favorite covers from the Amalgam run. There is some pretty good ones that I don't have that are better than this one, but I don't know, man. I feel like this one I would put over all of those other ones. Maybe it's just because I own it. Maybe if I own the other ones, I would put them higher on the list. But for right now, this is probably one of my favorite Amalgam covers. It's just a beautiful cover, and of course, there's the skull right there, guys. If you can't see that, no, you know what? Look, it does kind of look like Demon, doesn't it? A little bit. The little bit of the ears there. The jawline for the Demon. Yeah, I never noticed that until I zoomed in. So I'm glad I did, guys. It was all your help. All your help, because I had to show you guys that was a skull there. And by doing so, I found out that looks a lot more like Demon than I thought. So thank you. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And if you appreciate this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, share it out with your friends, and jump in on this cover art challenge every single week. Like I said, go follow Comic Collector Alan. The link to his IG and his YouTube is down below. And that is my number 6 pick. All right, we're getting down to the last little bit. This is my number 7th pick, and look at that. I didn't even clue into that. This is Stillwater issue number 7 as my 7th pick. Still a series I have not read. I was sent this comic, and I'm glad I was, because I was running out of skull covers, and this one definitely helped me. This was sent to me by a friend. I think it was sent to me by Neighbor to the North. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's no longer a neighbor to my north because he moved all the way to BC, and that's pretty far from Prince Edward Island. So just saying, he's no longer a neighbor to my north. But as you can see, we got the skull right there, and that it's a little bit of meat still left on that skull, but a skull nonetheless. Stillwater issue number 7. Like I said, I haven't read this series, so I'm just using this cover for this challenge, and that I wish I could tell you a little bit more about the story, but one day I will sit down and read this story because I hear nothing but great things from Stillwater, and this is Stillwater issue number 7, my 7th pick. Alright, I definitely had to bring a What If comic. As most of you guys know, I don't collect a lot of Marvel. I'm more of a DC guy, even though I didn't show a single DC book. No, I did. I showed the Doom Patrol, but I barely showed any DC books. But I'm more of a DC collector than anything else. Just the characters speak to me more. I love a lot of the world that is in DC and that, so I collect more of DC. But what I collect of Marvel is the What If comics. And this comic I think I got from my good friend and Canadian, Bleecker Street Comics. And that this is What If the Punisher became Captain America. What If issue 51. And I am cheating a little bit because this is a drawn-on skull, but this is a skull. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this comic counts. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments, and I will make a video about just one comic book to add to this collection, just to be like, all right, you guys have spoken. You guys told me to make one video about one comic book to add to this collection because this What If 51 didn't work. That type of deal. So I will do that, but only if you comment and let me know if it works or if it doesn't work. And that. So hopefully I see a lot of comments. But yes, I think it works. I do think it works. Hopefully you guys do as well. Love this cover. Like, what if the Punisher did become Captain America? That gets your gears running. That gets your adrenaline running. You're like, oh man, that would be so sick. Could you imagine if they made a movie like that? TV show like that? Could you imagine John Bernthal? You know what I'm trying to say. Ends up donning the Captain America mask, shield, and that, and starts running around being Captain America. Like, that would put butts in seats. Like, come on, Marvel. I'm coming up with ideas for you. Actually, no, Marvel. They already came up with the idea for you. Take the idea from the comic and make it reality. That'd be so cool. All right, guys, that was my number 8 pick. All right, I had to bring this one just because it's Ghost Rider Unlucky 13, and I always thought that was super cool. I'm a fan of Ghost Rider. I wouldn't say I put him up there as like a character I really like from Marvel. I would put Silver Surfer on that list. Ghost Rider's still pretty cool, and that, and just the idea of him. And this cover being so cool. It's not the best cover, but it's still a pretty cool cover. But what makes this comic is sadly, it's the Unlucky 13. So I had to bring it just for that reason. And not much more I can say about this comic except for that. So that's my number 9 pick. And my last pick, my number 10 pick, is Marvel Comics Presents 72. Before Wolverine, there was Weapon X. And as you can see, nice big skull right in the background. And this is actually a key book. This is the origin of Weapon X. This is how he became who he was. This is the origin of how he got the metal endoskeleton. And yeah. Definitely a good comic to have if you're a Wolverine fan or if you're just a Canadian like myself. And sadly, I did say the characters I really like more over on the Marvel side is Silver Surfer. I do like Wolverine. I just wouldn't put him at my top. Like, please don't throw tomatoes at me and that for saying that, but yes, I'm not that big of a Wolverine fan. Do like the movies, do think Hugh Jackman's great as Wolverine, but just wouldn't put him at the top of my favorite characters. But I do own a Wolverine comic. I do own the origin of Weapon X, so I guess I'm sort of a Wolverine fan because I'll never get rid of this comic. Not much of a seller, not much of a get rid of her. That's not a word, but I don't care. But yeah, this is my number 10 pick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I have fun doing this because I'm just being silly this entire time when I'm doing these videos, showing off comics, talking about the comics that I like, even talking a little bit about the stories of the comic books I'm showing. So yeah, I'm just going to continue doing these every Saturday, so hopefully you guys tune in every single week as well. And that being said, hopefully you guys have a fantastic Saturday night. drink responsibly, be responsible, and as always, my friends, stay freaking nerdy.